What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content daily. We also stream over on Twitch at This Is Aftersound, so come by and say hello. All right, continuing, I guess this is just our weekly 5 biggest takeaways from the AMA. Whoa, that's a throwback. From the Town Hall. These used to be called AMAs, so now they are officially called Town Halls for at least the last 2 months or so. So I don't know where that came from. So this is not a summary. If you're looking for a full summary, there are other content creators who do a phenomenal job of summarizing everything that is said or discussed in the town hall, and I highly recommend you go check them out. If you're looking here, this is the official one on the Splinterlands Peak D blog. So I'm going to be referencing some things on here, but for those of you who have seen these before, you know that I like to have a little visual here for you and as kind of a notepad for me. So here we go. 5 biggest takeaways. Let's jump right in. The first one, we found out that roughly 1.5 million packs were sold for the bulk sale. So that is only 25% of what was allotted. The only other comment that I remember that I feel like was said about this was that there were some big buyers who pulled out at the last moment and decided that they were just going to buy during the general sale. Now, if you saw a previous video of mine, I kind of speculated on what that meant exactly, and the brief version is just, well, there's a lot of anticipation and there's a lot of reservation, I think, and hesitancy when it comes to seeing just how much hype and FOMO there is for this game. So that is the only reason that I could think, unless it was something technical, like they couldn't get the funds before the due date, which is on December 28th. So we don't really know any other information there. I'm not going to take it as a bad sign. I think that there's still going to be quite a bit of action, we'll put it, on the 17th when the general sale goes live. But if you saw my previous video, I don't think that this is going to sell out as quickly as people think, and I'm totally fine with that. Here's the thing, it's really a win-win for me, for the team, and I guess for anybody who loves Splinterlands, unless you want to get a pack at a later date. But the win-win is just, if it sells out, it just shows how much hype and anticipation and FOMO that there is for this game. And if it doesn't, then it's good and healthy for the growth of the game. We don't want the team scrambling to figure out how to appease the player base if they can't get access to cheap packs or cards or whatever the case is. But the good thing is that we've seen the card prices come down. So I'm not going to expound on that too much. I think the previous video that I released, I went a little bit more in depth there. So if you want more information, you can go and check that out. But 1.5 million packs sold for the bulk sale. At least we have a rough number for that now. The other thing that was said, and I can't remember how the question was exactly phrased, but it was along the lines of, asking the team if we go into a crypto bear market, which the fear and greed index is showing a ton of fear right now. We've seen Bitcoin do several legs down since its all-time high in November of 2021. So Aggro said we have enough working capital to survive for 3 years without making another sale. Now, he kind of said this off the cuff, so I'm going to take it with a grain of salt, but I love the confidence there. I mean, there is a lot of, even if Chaos Legion doesn't sell out at this point, but the team has sold about 1.7 million packs in the pre-sale in phase 2, plus another 1.5 million. We'll just round up and say 3 to 3.5 million packs at a price point of $4. That's a good working capital of $12 million right there. That is all revenue for the team. So to me, that is awesome in terms of hiring out people and growing everything that they want to grow within the Splinterlands ecosystem. So I like the confidence that they're just, crypto bull or crypto bear, it doesn't matter. They're keeping their heads down, getting the work done, and focusing solely on that. So that is always good news to hear. All right, number 3, the Splinterbites was a cool little thing here. And just to recap it very quickly for folks, the Splinterbites are like the little things that you get when you're being matched up with an opponent. Now, some of those are out of date, and some of those are maybe not relevant anymore. And so what the team is doing is allowing users or their player base to submit new Splinterbites, and if yours are used, you will not only be credited in the game with whatever your in-game username is, but you will also potentially get a reward. So here is the link. If you go to the official PeakD blog, you'll be able to find it here on this post. Now, what I love about this is just very much, it's very much the ethos of the game, right? The value is the players, is the community, are the people. That's where the value lies. And so this, in a way, it's like, yes, the team is crowdsourcing, trying to get ideas, trying to get cool submissions for this, but they're going to reward you and they're going to give you credit. So I just think about this from a traditional gaming standpoint, and none of these major gaming studios, and I could be wrong, please somebody correct me, because I'm not out there completely in terms of, knowing everything that's happening across the gaming world. But none of these other studios are this involved with their community to a point where they're saying, let us know what you want, or submit things for this. We'll give you credit within the game, and, we could potentially reward you for it, right? This is somewhat similar to the Legendary Summoner competition that happened. Obviously, that's really only reserved for people who have the big bucks and are able to spend and be one of the top purchasers in the pre-sale, for example. So, but again, it just goes to show how very connected to the community this team is, and how very connected to, just everything overall. So I love it. It was like a small thing that, only a handful of people are probably going to participate in. I highly recommend that you guys do so. I might, if I can think of something cool and creative, I might submit a few. But, it's just something to be a part of this game. This, blockchain, crypto, NFT gaming, it is about ownership, right? If you own assets within the game, including SPS, including cards, then you are an owner in the game, meaning that you are incentivized and incentivized for this to go as far as possible. So why not give your talents? Why not offer things to the game to help it grow? Because it's all about the network effect, and that's what I really, really love about this whole paradigm shift with crypto in general, but obviously specifically crypto gaming and NFT gaming here. All right, number 4. So modern format, at least this is the first time I'm hearing about it, is now being said for late Q1. Man, when modern format was first announced, we were all hoping that it would be released in conjunction with Chaos Legion in December. That didn't happen. We were hoping for January, but now all the attention has been focused on the general sale coming up. I just don't. I'm not trying to FUD by any means, but things just get delayed because that's just how it works, right? So for me, I'm a musician, and you always set deadlines. And how many like musicians do you know? Well, I guess I don't know how much it's public anymore, but like movies and music, like how many times has like a project like had a specified date or an estimated date, and it just gets pushed back, right? So I'm not trying to hold anything. I know the team is working very diligently and hard to get this done. But the fact that it's now been moved to late Q1, which I would assume would be March sometime, just makes me feel like we probably aren't going to see it maybe until Q2. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't even matter. The game, I think everybody's gotten used to the new meta. So there's still going to be quite a bit in terms of, a learning curve, especially as more and more players buy cards, get cards, level cards up, and reach the specific leagues that they want to be in. Right. So at this point, a part of me was just kind of hanging on and being like, you know what, I'm just going to stick around in silver for now because I want to wait to see what the modern format rules will be and the thresholds for power and things like that. Now, with it being another 2 months out, as I've had my cards for about a month already or so, now with it being another 2 months out with, potential to be delayed again, the reason I'm bringing this up is I'm just saying my mindset is shifting now because I would really love to start playing in gold, but I haven't taken the time to start investing in the cards and leveling up my deck to do so. But if it's going to be another 2 months, potentially longer, as we've seen it get delayed, I don't think I want to wait that long anymore. And I think I probably will be focusing very hard on the general sale to go in and snipe some deals for cards as I see them and focus maybe on specific splinters to get into gold level. So we'll see how that goes. Just kind of sharing my own personal perspective and plan with how this is going as we've seen the date get pushed back and back. But again, this is not FUD. I know the team is working hard, so I'm not trying to call anybody out here. I'm just trying to be realistic about where things are at, where they may potentially end up, and what my plan is. As like I said, I was just kind of like, oh, you know what, that's fine. I can play for a month in wild format. It'll be just fine, right? When it was announced for Q1. Now that we're getting it, and it's kind of like being pushed back every so often, I think I'm just going to bite the bullet and focus on getting up into gold so that rewards are higher. I feel like I learn a little bit more about the game. The meta is probably very different in gold as well, and I get to start learning that a little bit sooner, I suppose, even if I'm going to get my butt kicked left and right like I was in silver for a very, very long time. All right, number 5. This was a comment that Matt made about the ongoing airdrops and what we know so far, and he was just relating it to the Untamed airdrops. What we know so far is that the airdrops for Phase 2 are going to be 300 packs each. You would need to have bought 300 packs for each BCX that you're guaranteed an airdrop for. What he said, and what Yaba Matt said during the town hall, and again, this isn't confirmed, but I believe he was referencing what they did with Untamed. And I was surprised that we actually got a number out of it, but I suppose if it was Untamed, then it's historical data, is that for every subsequent airdrop, if it is a legendary, and let me be very specific, if it is a legendary, then the airdrop threshold would increase by 25. So that almost gives us a little bit of a runway, and I might dive into this more in a separate video and actually crunch the numbers. But if we know that there are going to be at least 6 legendary cards, meaning the 6 legendary summoners that are coming up, that would mean that unless there are no other legendaries, and there probably will be, but I'm just trying to give a baseline for where this could go. The first one will be 325, 350, 375, 400, and so onwards, right? So that is what I'm thinking about now in terms of how do I get enough packs to guarantee myself some legendary summoners. And as we know, going back to the first point here, the 1.5 million packs sold for the bulk sale, there's going to be quite a few already, because this 1.5 million packs is going to combine with all of the sales in the first 24 hours. And so I just feel like if there's going to be that many guaranteed cards out there, the legendary summoners may not be as highly priced as I was previously thinking, or as people were thinking before. The other thing that matters too is I don't think we should be expecting these legendary summoners to have the same kind of in-game value, right? So in terms of being like 7 mana, 3 buffs or debuffs, whatever it is, they might be completely different. I might go with a 6 mana or an 8 mana summoner. There might, the meta on the actual summoners might be completely different. Something brand new for Chaos Legion that would get us to a place where, we have to really determine what the value is, and it's not really an apples to apples comparison with Untamed. So just something to think about. But, I still want them, and I still want them maxed out. And for legendary cards, if you're just doing the regular foil, you will need 11 of them. So what is that? 11 times 450? I can't do the math in my head right now, but that's over 4,000 packs. I'm not going to have that many, so I'll probably have to snipe some of them off of the market if I can. But it'll be an interesting thing to watch as we go along. Just wanted to share that with you, as it was something that kind of caught my attention. So that is all I have for you guys in this week's Splinterlands Town Hall summary. There was a lot of really good, my 5 biggest takeaways from the summary, but there was a lot of really cool, just overall hype and excitement from the team. I think Aggro did, it was either at the beginning or maybe actually beginning and maybe end as well. Like, what are the things that you're excited about for this upcoming year and the things that they're focusing on. So I highly recommend it. Definitely go check it out if you can. And that's all I have for you guys. So have an awesome rest of your day. I will see you around the game, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.